Hello everybody, before the video is commencing, I just want to point out that I was really tired when I'm recording this and I'm recording this voiceover. So when you hear me, I do sound tired and I'm sorry for that, but I have not been able to get much sleep tonight. Migraine and everything is keeping me up, so I'm sorry for that, but it shit happens, and I just wanna hope you enjoy the video. I mean, it's only 50 minutes, but I do hope you enjoy it. So like and subscribe if you'd like, and I will see you again later. Thank you again for popping in, and thank you for listening to my rant and my discussion about how the world might be today, or whichever. But thank you again, and I hope to see you again later. Hello, everybody, and let me talk about a big problem these days. So, today we do have a Ukraine slash Russia problem. So, it's not necessarily a problem, but it is a pretty big thing these days, and I figured I want to give my opinion on what can happen and what is potential for happening. So, the first thing off is Ukraine against Russia. We do know that part of Ukraine was annexed by Russia in 2014 during the Olympics. Another problem with that is the fact that a lot of Ukraine is also filled with pro-Russian anarchists. Not exactly anarchists, but people that would prefer to stay in Russia because Ukraine used to be a part of the Soviet Union. And with that happening, a lot of them still wants to go back into the Soviet Union or Russia, which is like the main player for Soviet Union to this day. Uh, Along with that, there's another problem that we have these days. We also do have NATO, which is the North Alliance Treaty Organization, which is a lot of the European countries that have an alliance with each other. That if one gets attacked, practically everybody gets attacked. Which means that if, for example, let's say Germany got attacked by Russia or some other place, that means all the other countries that is in the NATO alliance will also get attacked by that said country. So the problem with this is if we decide to defend Ukraine against Russia to this day, and a NATO and Ukraine, like Ukraine gets to be a member of NATO, that means the rest of most of the European countries get dragged into the war as well as Ukraine itself. Which means Russia will be against NATO and America because America is a part of NATO and is actively helping us with soldiers and equipment. A lot of the F-35s, if quote me if I'm wrong on that exact plane, is being produced in America and sent to a lot of countries like Norway, for example. Uh, yeah, there's some other problems as well, like economic problem. We do heavily rely on natural gas, which is mostly produced in, you said it, Russia. And with it, if the war is actually breaking out between European countries and Russia, along with other places, there is going to be a shortage of gas most likely because Norway or other countries that have oil and such do not have enough gas to supply all the countries like Russia does. They have huge amounts of gas pockets that they can exploit and use. We do not. Another thing that is a minor problem, but is still a problem nonetheless, is Chinese products, because we do know that Chinese product made in China and all those products are mostly made in China. So without China, there is going to be a shortage of a lot of products in Europe, mostly toys and other things, but there's also gadgets and such, phones, iPhones, I believe, Samsungs mostly. A lot of them are made in China. You will probably find a made in China sticker on a couple of the batteries or such. So, do check it out. But yeah, it is most likely going to be a problem if we do end up at a war against China. Because along with Russia, China and Russia have actually gotten pretty friendly with each other and most likely will have an alliance with each other. Most likely, not 100%. So don't take it with a bit of salt, a hint of salt, please. Another thing that might prove to be a challenge in the future is America. America, as we know, have had a lot of things going on lately. We have had, the last let's say, yeah, the last 20 plus years, we have had a lot of things happening. 9/11, we have had a riot, which they managed to get into the state capitol, I believe it is. So there's a lot of problems with America. Well, not America in itself, but there's a lot of splitting between the population in America. Some people believe they shouldn't send American soldiers to other countries' soil. For example, they don't want to send people to the Ukraine soil to defend Ukraine from Russia if that is happening. And they also don't really like the fact that European countries, they don't have the manpower or the economic budget, maybe like America does. So there's a lot of difference in let's say NATO. That is why earlier, I don't fully remember the date, but America asked different countries to contribute more into NATO so that America do not have to contribute as much. I believe it was Donald Trump that actually did state that other countries needed to contribute more, otherwise they would leave NATO. Uh, so yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the world, and of course there's other things as well. I want to tell you a couple of them, and I also want to give a shout out, even though I'm pretty sure not a lot of people are gonna watch this. I want to give a shout out to Sensitive Society, Optimus, and Think Before You Sleep, because they are the ones making me talk out about this problem and these things as they are. Uh, so yeah, they are honestly the ones who have inspired me so far to at least try to make some commentary videos. I'm gonna begin actually. Otherwise, I'm gonna see what I can do about it, or maybe some gameplay videos, a little bit of things. It didn't turn out to be that long of a video right now, but I just figured I want to talk about, the main problem this day. Uh, so yeah, the biggest problem we currently have is not necessarily a problem just yet. I mean, it is a political crisis because Russia is a big country with a giant freaking army like America. And they also have China, which is also a pretty giant freaking army, and they are not gonna make anything easy. Other than that, it's honestly like Sensitive Society does a lot. His name suggests, the society today is much more sensitive than like it was used to be before. I was born in 2000, so I'm only 21. I'm turning 22 later. I'm not gonna say my date, but yeah. So I know a little bit. I didn't grow up with a sensitive part just yet. The sensitive part, I believe, came in like well, probably around the 2010s when I grew up. But I actually grew out to be pretty okay, I suppose. But yeah, so yeah, back to topic. Other than this political crisis between Russia, China, and NATO and America, there is a big thing, going on around in society, about the e-thoughts, or girls having an easy mode, easy life with freaking OnlyFans, or Twitch, for example, where they just get to, I'm not gonna mention the names because I don't want to slander anybody, but there's a couple of girls on there who is just like, oh yeah, let me just take on something really, really revealing, and I'm not breaking the rules, I'm just showing off something that just gonna give you a little looky here so you can simp on me and stuff like that. You know what I mean if you think about it. So yeah, I feel like that is not exactly good for the society, honestly, that you give some people who do not deserve it an easy mode to be able to get easy to get earning money on something, or barely doing anything to try it out. Like, I am usually streaming when I'm not feeling sick or something. Right now, I'm really, having a migraine these days and stuff like that. So I haven't been streaming the last few days, but I have been streaming for a constant, well, 4 months now, a little bit under, because I've been sick lately. Other than that, I have actually, had my Twitch for over a year. I probably began streaming like about a year ago. I started about like from 10 followers to now it is 517, I believe. So yeah, and some of those EFOTs could easily like grow from 10 followers to a 5,000 just by showing off some really revealing top, or showing off some other stupid thing that they don't really deserve the follows or likes for that. And there's too many sims these days. Like, please stop. Just stop. It's honestly disgusting, and you should not be giving people who do not deserve it like an easy way to do things. So yeah, I'm kind of falling a little bit off topic, but you know what I mean. And with society being a snowflake, you can practically almost not say anything before someone either calls you a racist or calls you a stupid or something. Mostly they call you racist because apparently you can't use the same emote if I'm white, for example, like I am, and I use like a emote with a black hand or something. Oh, I'm racist because I used the wrong gender or the wrong colorized hand for my own race. Like, bruh, can you please stop? Like, just let me do what I want. Okay, I'm using the emoji when I want to. I don't need to listen to you about it. Please, just shut the fuck up and let me do my thing. So yeah, society has definitely gotten a bit softer in the just last like 10 years or so. I remember before that I was young, of course. I didn't really know society too much back then, but I do definitely know that it was definitely better back then. Like kind of like in the PS2, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era. That was kind of like, okay, you can trash talk someone on COD, Battlefield, etc., etc. I used to not play that much on Call of Duty and Battlefield back then, but I do remember it. And I used to be really relaxed, and life was really good when amazing Skyrim came out. I mean, of course, Skyrim is like a unfinished game still. I feel like a lot of content was cut. Okay, so back on topic. Like I was gonna say, like World War Three, with between Russia and NATO slash America, it's gonna be really impactful to all of us. There's of course, if it does happen and it ends up that one part wins over the other, gets to control the resources or whatever. There's a lot of things that can happen if it's a long ended war, like kind of like World War Two. You can't just look at the negatives and say, "Oh, this is all that's gonna happen," because obviously there is some positive things to it, including on World War Two and World War One. There was actually a big development in terms of technology. For example, jets. We actually would not have jets today if it was not for the Germans. Let me point that out. But yeah, like I said, there's both bad things and good things to a war, I suppose. But I don't like the sound of war and people killing each other and shooting, and potentially this war you actually have the potential danger of nukes, and nukes would decimate a lot of population. And today we are around 7 billion people on this earth. So I figure like I prefer to I would prefer to keep everybody here and not lose anybody potentially. Why don't we just send the leaders into like a 1v1 melee fight or something? Make it easy. But then again, yeah. So a nuclear war is potential. I hope not, because I really don't want to live through a Fallout 5 again. Uh, but like I say, if it doesn't happen with a nuclear war and instead it's like something that maybe they figure out something out politically, I just hope that Russia really doesn't attack Ukraine, because I feel like Ukraine should be a country for itself. I mean, it has been out for since Soviet Union got dissolved in 1993, I believe it is, or 1992. So yeah, Ukraine has been for itself quite a while, even though despite Kiev being taken over by Russia in 2014. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Honestly, this one, just tell you what I feel, maybe what I'm planning to do, on YouTube. So if you would like to see more content, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And yeah. So I hope to see you all around, and I hope to do more kind of like live commentaries, or like, at least commentaries like this one, where I talk about this subject. I want to go a little bit deeper next time. I know it's mostly like, oh yeah, it's a little bit World War Three here. There's a little bit of EFOTs and a little bit of stuff in this video, but it's like a good start for me, and I'm having a bit of a migraine and stuff. So I imagine I wanna like talk to you guys later, and I hope you all have a good Saturday or a Friday evening. So I will see you later, and thank you for popping in and watching my video.